Hello, everyone. This is Ian Schreier, Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Information at Adelphi University and a member of the COSIDA Academic All-America New Media Committee. And it is my esteemed pleasure to be joined by the 2022 COSIDA Academic All-America Division III Team Member of the Year in the sport of softball, a graduate outfielder from Texas Lutheran University, Kelly Jurden. Kelly, we've spoken about it a couple of times before we got on here that you're now a three-time first-team academic All-American, which is just an outstanding achievement on its own. And let me be the first to say congratulations on that as well. But now to be named the Academic All-American of the Year for Division III softball, where does that stand up in your mind?
That's such an honor for me. It's awesome to know that all of my hard work in the classroom has paid off. And now that I get to represent my school and my team with this honor, it just means a lot.
Now, Kelly, Texas. You're no stranger to Texas. You're originally from from Brenham. Now, tell me a little bit just about what really drew your love of softball. Like, we all had a start. So for you, where did softball begin for you?
For me, it started with the Washington County Little. I started playing t-ball as soon as I could. I have older sisters, so I always wanted to do everything that they did. And so I was very eager to get to start playing sports, and t-ball was a big one for me.
Do you have a favorite aspect? I think, for some people, it's just, stepping up to the plate, throwing the glove on and going out there and playing. Is there a favorite aspect to the game of softball that you love maybe more than the others?
I think in college, part of my game that really developed is base running, and now I consider it to be one of my favorite. Anytime I can find a way to get on base, I'm always looking for a way to get to the next base or looking for coach to give me the steal sign. So that's just something that's really fun to me. Once I get on base, I know that I can make things happen.
And to piggyback, I guess, Kelly, on top of that, for a question I was going to ask you a little later in the interview was that with regards to all the team success that you've had, and we'll touch on that in a minute. On the last day of the season, pretty much, you had set and broke the school's career in single season stolen base records. So you spoke so much about how much you really enjoyed the base running aspect of the game, and that you were always looking to steal a base. So now at TLU, you have both those records. What did that mean to you as you get ready, your career concludes at TLU, to set those records?
Yeah, it's just really cool to know that my name's going to be in the record books forever. And I was just out there having fun the whole time, but the records just came along with it. And just it's cool to know that in all of NCAA Division III softball, I'm the one that's stolen most bases. That's so crazy. And I don't know if it'll ever fully hit me that I was the one to do that. But it's just cool to know that, again, my team's name and my school's name gets to be represented there as well.
Let's backtrack for a second here, Kelly, and talk a little bit about before you got to TLU. What made you decide that Texas Lutheran and Division III softball was the right path for you?
So I actually, in high school, wasn't really planning on playing sports in college. I wasn't working on getting recruited or any of that. I was just going to go to A&M because that's what everybody else in my family did. But Coach Wilson, the head softball coach at TLU, he used to coach at Brenham High School, and he coached one of my older sisters. And so we knew each other already for a while. But one day when I got home from school, my dad was just said, "Hey, Coach Wilson texted me today and asked if you wanted to come to Texas Lutheran for a visit." And I was like, why not? Like, we can just go see what it's all about. And once I got on that visit, I really fell in love with the small campus and the small class sizes, and obviously the successful winning program of TLU softball. So after that, that was all I needed to know that that's where I wanted to spend my next 4 years then, but it ended up being 5.
Well, I think for you and a lot of your fellow student athletes, it turned out being 5, but I'm glad that we were all able to get back safely towards competing in collegiate athletics because we all missed it so much. Mm-hmm. You and your team endured a lot of success while you were at TLU, obviously, as you're now graduating and departing the program. But while you've been there, I mean, notwithstanding the 2020 season that was canceled due to the pandemic, the team reached the national championship final 3 times, 2019, 2021, and this past year, 2022, and won a national championship. You have a national championship to your resume that you won in 2019. So quite a legacy that you and your teammates are leaving behind. What has really been have been the keys over these last few years to the success that you and your team have sustained there?
Every time we go into a game, our focus is to just do the little things well. The little things are what allow the big things to happen. So just knowing that we can make every routine play, string some good at bats together, that's what ultimately ends in a win. So just focusing on the little things and playing our softball, just focusing on what we need to do, not letting anybody else get in our way. I think that's been a big thing that's helped us create these winning seasons and have had all the success that we have.
Kelly, you'll finish your career as a 4-time All-American at TLU, and that's more than just getting a favorable bounce here and there, even for yourself as a slapper, right? So what have been the keys that you felt, the real keys to your individual success on the field?
I think mindset is a big thing. Every time I go up to bat, my goal is honestly just to put the ball in play. I know that if I can put the ball in play on the ground, then that puts pressure on the defense and it gives me a better chance to reach first safely. So every time just trying to put the ball in play, but then also not letting a prior at bat affect my next at bat. If I strike out or hit a pop-up or something in that at bat, my next at bat, I'm not even thinking about that anymore. I'm just right back to put the ball in play, try to make things happen. So having a short-term memory is really helpful for that.
You don't always want to remember the good at bats and not so much the bad, right? Kelly, you maintained a 3.97 cumulative grade point average. You've graduated with both now your bachelor's and master's at the same time. Your bachelor's concentration in mathematics, your master's in data analytics, and I know we had a chance to touch base a little bit beforehand about that you're planning on staying in the sport of softball after you graduate now from TLU. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yes, I've accepted a position with a softball analytics company called Softball Cloud, and we work with teams and schools around the country to take the in-game data capture or bullpens or batting practice and create reports or visualizations to give back to the coaches. So that way they can work on player development and just learning more about the game from the numbers side.
I may need to take a couple of lessons from you, Kelly, because even as a fan myself, I'm trying to learn more about what's going into data, into the analytics of baseball and softball. It's become so complex and just so interesting. This question might seem a little bit taboo, Kelly, but I feel like it really exemplifies who you are as a student athlete, and for any student athlete, really, just how, because as a student athlete, you're balancing so much, right? That there's school, there's class, there's practice, there's games, and then there's just life. So how have you found that way of just finding that perfect balance in your 5 years at TLU?
I'd say the most important thing is time management. You only get so many hours in a day, so you really need to use that time wisely. And when you have some downtime, and maybe instead of playing on your phone, like get started on an assignment or something like that. And just know that your time at practice, you need to focus on practice, try to leave everything else on the side of the field. And then when you get home, eat some food and then get right back to work. You just got to really be focused, stay on top of things. But yeah, having good time management skills is definitely a plus.
There's no doubt about it. And who do you credit? Could be one person, could be multiple, that for instilling those values in you in terms of making you the great student that you are today?
I'd say definitely my parents. They never had to be on me growing up about my grades. Like that just always came naturally to me. But just them, I guess, pushing me to excel, and they were proud of me, all the hard work that I put in. And it's just something that always came really naturally to me. So I guess their genes as well.
As you round out your career now at TLU, Kelly, and first off, congratulations on all these amazing accomplishments.
Thank
you. And wish you all the best of luck, in your path in your professional career. What will you remember most looking back on your time as a student athlete there?
100% the friends that I've made. I know they'll be my friends for a lifetime, and the memories, of course, winning a national championship, all the long bus rides, the practices, just all of those things are really what I hold close to me. And just knowing that I now have at least 20 friends for life that I got to spend all my time with. That's really what's going to stick with me the most, and what I enjoyed most about being at TLU was the people.
Well, Kelly, congratulations again on this outstanding honor. We can't thank you enough for taking some time here with us.
Thank you so much.